Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to do another alphabet animal spin. So in my last video, we did vole. So we're gonna go down here and remove vole from the list and we're gonna spin and see what I get for today. So obviously I'm very happy to have duck because obviously I made my list and I pretty much like almost every single animal on that list. So I love ducks. I have done all kinds of duck artwork before. I have sold duck artwork. I have given duck artwork and I have some in my sketchbooks. I actually did a little duck gouache thing in a sketchbook recently. I will link that up at the top and down below. But because of all that, I don't want to do any classic ducks. And as you guys can see here, there's an amazing variety. There are ducks here that I didn't even know existed. And I want to do a duck that I've never done before. I'm really drawn to that red-headed duck, but I had a very hard time choosing. It actually took me quite a while to narrow it down because there are so many beautiful ducks here. So what I ended up doing is I actually settled on a few and then narrowed it down. But then I could not help but fall in love with the cinnamon teal duck. I absolutely love that brown with the little blue or teal feather, whatever you want to call it, in the wing. Absolutely love it. So I went with that one. So I'm going to come over here and use the same paper I've been using for all the other ones. This particular duck I'm going to do on hot pressed paper. So I'm going to sketch it out, cartoonify it, put it in my own style, of course. And then I kind of panicked. I don't know why. So then I took my cold press paper and I just had to get this particular idea out. So I ended up focusing on the Pekin duck. So the Pekin duck is just a classic white duck and I kind of wanted this fairy tale look to it. I'm using the beautiful markers my husband got me for my birthday. I have other videos where I am reviewing it and talking about them, and I can link those all in the description below because this video isn't about it. But these colors over here, I'm really feeling them for my backgrounds or my skies, and I really wanted just like a storybook, a children's storybook illustrative look. And of course these markers have come through for me many times throughout this year since I've had them, so we are going with that. And I have really loved using acrylic paint markers over on watercolor paper, and if you guys have not tried it, I highly recommend you try it. So this color definitely needs a little shake, and now that I've shaken it, it looks a little bit more like the color on the cap. Now I know repetition can be annoying, I get it. However, some people only watch one or two of my videos and never come back, and I have to say it, I just can't help but say it because it's true. Acrylic paint markers take a lot of layers, some companies and colors more than others, so I am just blocking in the color. It's going to be streaky and ugly, but you have to trust the process. Every medium has an ugly phase, and laying down and blocking in the colors with acrylic paint markers is ugly. So I have it blocked in now, but you still see some streakiness, so I'm going to add some layers. And as you guys can see, as I keep adding layers, it just looks better and better. And like I mentioned before, some companies you have to only do like 2 or 3 layers, and some, depending on the color and the recipe, you've got to do 2 to like 6 layers depending on the company. This brand's pretty good though. So now we're going in with the grass, and look at the beautiful coverage I'm getting with this paper, you guys. I absolutely love how it's looking so far. I don't tend to use those colors very often, and it's giving me that cute kind of children's book illustration vibe that I was going for. So obviously this is another day and another time. Here I am all snuggled up in my bed because Babykins is napping next to me in the evening here. And I just want to get this little duck going. I'm really enjoying doing this one, and I want to make it sweet and simple. So we've got the big bow colored in, and of course I had to bring in a little heart cheek over here, some orange feet, and this duck's going to be surrounded by flowers. We have to put it in a flower field. It's an excuse to add color. So I'm just putting lots of dots and little speckles, and it's just very spring and very cheerful, and I really, really enjoy doing this. It's something that was just stuck in my head, and I just had to get it out. So when I got to this point, I was like, uh-oh, I want to outline my duck. I could not for the life of me decide if I was going to outline it in a nice navy blue or a darker brown, but like a sepia kind of brown. And I didn't want to ruin my illustration, so what I did is I just took a picture, and this isn't even Procreate, this is just like markup. on the iPad. And I just did a very, as you guys, very sketchy outline, okay? This is not professional digital artwork. This is really just me doing a rough sketch to see what I'm going to like. Now, I know it looks rough and there's going to be digital artists out here. Don't come for me, okay? I'm just comparing the two because I genuinely couldn't decide and I didn't want to ruin my drawing. And I specifically went through my browns here and I chose very similar to the outline color that I already have so that I could really get a good idea. So it's going to take me a little while from this point on to decide which color fine liner I'm going to use. But like I said, I already have both of these colors and I asked other people's opinion in the house. And that's why my sketch lines are really fast, and I'm gonna go through both of them with you, and you can even drop in the comments which color you personally like. Maybe I could always redraw it in the other color I don't choose. So here we have it. I have brown outline, blue outline. Do you guys see why? It gives a totally different vibe. And I ended up choosing the blue over the brown. I love the old school look of the brown, but I find that the blue really helped give the pop. But don't get me wrong, I really did enjoy that brown outline on it. So now that I have that in my references, maybe I'll come back, and if you guys want to see me draw it again, drop it down below and I can draw it all over again. But we are going with the blue because I think it will complement all the colors that I've used much better, and it'll tie in the little blue flowers at the bottom. So I'm taking a Le Pen flex tip. I really like these pens. I really like the little bounciness and the firmness of the nib, and I haven't used it a ton in my artwork. And you know what? I kind of regretted using it, not because of the look, but it's because it ended up constantly smudging. But I was able to get a nice, crisp, clean look. But oh my goodness, this is such a smudgy pen. I do not recommend to do it on top of acrylic paint markers. FYI. So I said that I have done some other ducky art. So here is an example of some ducky art that I've done over the years that are in various sketchbooks. This particular one was not a sketchbook. I actually did this as a sketchbox challenge a couple years ago. And here are a few more pieces that I have done just in my sketchbook over the past few years. Alright, so now that I've shown you guys a little bit of old art that I had on hand, now it's time to get back to my cinnamon teal duck, which is why I wanted to do the video in the first place. This duck is going to be available over on my website. The other duck was already claimed, so I cannot sell it. With all of these animal alphabets, I try to make my pieces available at a nice affordable price, so it will be available down in the description below on my website. And for my American friends, guess what? All of my prices are in Canadian dollars, so it costs even less doll hairs for you guys. But anyways, I was disappointed with my browns. I could not find the right color, but guess what, guys? If you scooch up to the wine red, it ended up being the right color for my duck. I thought I was going to have to bust out other markers, but you know what? I looked at the browns, disappointed, and the reds did not disappoint. So I'm going to stick with these markers, mix her up. And when you mix it up, it's just perfect because as it's going down, it's one color and it dries just a few shades darker, and it was just absolutely perfect. So I was very relieved because it's a unique color, but I love the color and that's what drew me. No pun intended. Yes, pun intended. That's what drew me to this duck, is the uniqueness of it. And I just love the plumage and all the little colors, and I'm really happy with it. So obviously it's a bit of a streaky mess. I am fully aware. But layers, and it had to be another day. And like I said, I work fragmentedly, so we're going to keep adding in the layers until I can get this duck finished. FYI, always be willing to wait in between layers, but watercolor paper is forgiving, but make sure you're patient and you wait and let it dry. So now that things are dry, I'm going to outline with an 03, and I'm going to use that for the little grass in the background because it'll just be a little suggestive line, but it won't be overpowering because the duck is the main star here. Yes. So I have outlined almost all the grass, not all of them. There's still a few blades that haven't been done, but look at what an amazing difference a nice little fine liner comes in and does to an illustration. me loves. So now I'm going to take an 0.5 or a 0.5 to do my subject matter in the front because I want it to stick out a little bit more. And like I said, my duck is the star. On a completely different side note, I have been continuing my education, and this is a time of year that's very difficult because I have homeschooled children, so it's really crunch time and go time for the end of the year. So that's why I've not been uploading videos, but I am doing okay. I've just been very, very busy with a lot of personal stuff, but it's good, but it's busy. So if anyone was wondering where I am, I'm here and you're there. So stop worrying where I am because I'm still here. I'm just not here, but now I'm here. I love how the duck is coming together. Every time I keep adding detail, I'm getting increasingly excited. I don't know why this duck gave me so much anxiety. It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous, but I get weird like that. I will get project ideas in mind and then I panic and then I run away and then I don't finish them right away. And then when I go to finish them, like, why didn't I do this before? So now I just need to go into the wings, put some details in there, touch it up, and then this illustration will finally be done. It was kicking around for like 2 months. So I am so thrilled. I love that blue with that brown. I love how everything is turning out. And this is the final drawing. It has all the little details. These are all the markers I used in this illustration, and I'm just so happy with it. I'm happy that I kind of overcame a bizarre anxiety and finally finished it. And this is an illustration I've been wanting to do for a while, and it kicked around for a while, and I finally conquered it, so yes. So that's all for today's video. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and if you would like to see more of my videos, consider clicking something here on the screen or looking at my description below. Bye everyone!